The other disadvantage with implicit waits is a condition that I've seen all too often. We sometimes, as automation engineers, want to make sure that an element does not appear on a page before proceeding. For example, if I come over to our famous dynamic loading page and I click the Start button, look at this loading icon. Has it not been so common that a lot of us will wait for this loading icon before proceeding? Imagine that rather than checking for this hello world text, this page is not static. That this loading icon is used to represent the loading of our page between different kinds of pages. So for example, if I'm navigating to this page, there's a loading icon now. If I'm navigating to this page, now there's a loading icon present. Rather than looking at this thing up here spinning, I am seeing a loading icon here. Imagine that. Imagine that I'm clicking this stuff and seeing a loading icon. Now, we wouldn't be able to know what's coming up on the next page. Rather, we would need to wait until the loading icon has disappeared before we proceed with our next action. That happens a lot, and I've used that technique many times at my job. And so when we want to make sure that an element is not present on a page, our implicit wait is going to wait for the duration of the time until that element has expired and has thrown a no such element exception. So if we have set this to 30 seconds for our page, now we're going to be wasting and sitting for 30 seconds waiting for the bar to not be present before catching the exception and then proceeding with the rest of our actions. And that is obviously a huge waste of time because we don't need to wait for that long. We just need for the element to disappear, and once it's disappeared, we can proceed. But that's not how a find element works, right? You're going to find your element, which is the bar, and then it's going to wait for 30 seconds, and then when the no such element exception is thrown, we're going to catch it and then proceed with the rest of our actions. So I hope that both of those disadvantages are very clear to you. And implicit wait, it is great to start helping you write your tests and make them stable and make them run, but it's going to be very inefficient when you have thousands of tests running and you're going to be wasting valuable seconds that you cannot waste when you have thousands of tests that are automated or even hundreds of tests. And so therefore, Selenium WebDriver provides us a much better solution than the implicit wait, and that is known as an explicit wait. And the explicit wait I'm going to cover further in the next lecture.